Here's a question. Do you believe in ghosts? Have you ever had a close encounter with a Bigfoot, wolf man, dog man, maybe a close encounter with an alien, a little green alien, or maybe even the predator type alien? How about somebody with superhuman powers? Have you ever met anybody who can read palms, tell you your future? These are all superhuman abilities. And maybe you don't believe in any of that stuff, but maybe that's because it's never happened to you. I'm glad you're here, and I'll tell you why. This is Talk About Strange, a non-judgmental platform where people get to send in these incredible stories of things that have happened in their personal lives to share with you. And I welcome you to join me as I share these incredible stories. And if you enjoy these stories, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification so you don't miss out on the next incredible story that we have coming. So, without any further ado, let's get started. This story comes from Martha. She sent it to us a while back, and I'm finally getting a chance to read it. Martha, thank you for sending this in. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the story. Here we go. Hello, I watch your Talk About Strange YouTube channel every so often when I get a chance. I wanted to tell you about an incident that happened to me about 2 weeks ago. Of course, people think I'm cuckoo after confiding in them, but oh well. There you go. I know what I saw and what transpired on that Monday afternoon. A little about myself. I am a disabled 75-year-old woman with a bad knee and hip. Family kept telling me I need to go to the park and get some exercise even if I had to use my cane. The Cairo Angelo Hanna Park is just off Main Street in Cairo, New York. It's a beautiful park and has a walking path next to a beautiful brook. So I went there about 2 weeks ago with my husband just to get some exercise. I got out of the car and hobbled over to the second cement picnic table. I sat down to relax my knee, plus to admire the surroundings, which were beautiful. Then all of a sudden I smelled something like dead fish. I dismissed it because I just sat down. I'd walked a ways to sit down, and despite the smell, I wasn't getting up. That is until it got stronger. I turned around to see a green garbage can. I figured whatever it was came from that. But there was nothing in the can. So in my mind, I said, "You're rude. This is just awful to do to somebody, especially a disabled old woman who can barely walk. You are evil." So you must have had these kinds of experiences before, I'm assuming, or you watched and have an understanding. Right after I said that, the smell went away. I got up and walked down a ways to a section on the left of the path that was grassy, and a little further down, there was a sandy area closer to the brook. There was a woman there sitting on a naked tree, no bark. She got up and told me it was very peaceful there. She looked like she had just stepped out of a coffin. She walked her way back up the walkway, and disappeared. I thought she must have been a ghost. I'm interested to know if there's any rumors or legends of ghosts there or anything that's happened there. So I sat on the tree, and it was peaceful like she'd said. My husband had walked down her brook. He came back to tell me there was a waterfall down the hill. I wasn't going to walk down there to the falls because, I just can't walk that well. I started to walk back to the car and back up the walkway. My husband was at least 20 yards ahead of me, and I saw a Bigfoot next to a tree that had a face on it. The Bigfoot had big black eyes like orbs when he looked at me. Its body was massive, and he must have been at least 9 foot tall. I told him through my mind, "My name is Martha." He replied, "Martha." "What's your name?" I asked him through my mind. He said, "Verka." I know this sounds strange. I told him through my mind he was so different and that he was beautiful. I told him I respect him and thanked him for meeting with me. I couldn't stand too much longer, and I told him I would be back again. I did go back about 3 weeks later with some apples, but I didn't feel him there. I left 3 apples on a bench seat where I sat and smelled the dead fragrance, and I haven't been back since. This is true. My name is Martha Ivory, and I live in New York. I'm not going to tell the address, obviously. Martha, and I don't. So if you guys want to send stories into me, understand I will not disclose any information you don't want disclosed. And if I don't feel like it should be disclosed, I won't disclose it either. So, Martha, thank you for sending this in to us. That's really cool. Now, I do want to say that we did communicate back and forth, and she sent me some other messages with more detail. She did end up going back. For one, she trapped a raccoon. They had a raccoon problem, and she trapped a raccoon, and she took it back to the park to release it. She was going to send me a picture of that, but it scurried off so fast she never got an opportunity to. Anyway, she did go back, and she went back down to that tree, and while she was sitting on that tree, there was some garbage sitting around on the ground. She thought that was just extremely disrespectful for people to be throwing trash around in this beautiful area. And so, but the only problem was she didn't have anything to clean. She's thinking about this, how she didn't have anything to pick it up with, no gloves or anything, and there was broken glass. So all of a sudden, 3 big oak leaves fall down from around her, and so she used them to pick it up. What happened there? Why? What caused those leaves to suddenly just fall down around her? I don't know. Maybe you can share that with us, Martha. But very neat. So she used them, and she picked the stuff up, and she took it off someplace else and disposed of it. But on her way back out, she turned back as she was leaving. She turned back, and this Bigfoot that she'd seen kind of behind the tree had stepped out from behind the tree and showed itself to her. And she says this thing was at least 9 or 10 foot tall, and its chest was probably 4 foot wide, and he had like gray silver hair down his chest hair, and the big saucer eyes. And they communicated again and just basically thanked each other. But really cool stuff. And I'd like to know more about this ghost girl that you've seen, if you have any information about that, if anything else happened there. Again, Martha, thank you for sending this in to us. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. And I got a lot more coming, so I will see you again really soon.